Hi everyone, this is Suzette for Cloudy Sky today. Today I am looking at more cooking because hey, I'm doing this food prep, not really for a diet because I got asked that question and then I realized, oh yeah, I didn't realize there was such a thing as a potato diet. But my reasoning is this. I did check. I like French fries. And I know there are other ways to eat potatoes, but I saw this for $5.53. And then I saw a whole 10-pound bag of potato for $5.99. So let's go back. $5.53 for 28 ounces, and we know 16 ounces is a pound, so that's like it's not even 2 pounds because 16 plus 16 is 32. That would be 2 pounds, and I have 10 pounds, so that's 5 times over. And in my kitchen I have many gadgets because I've collected it over the years. So what do I do with this information? And you're saying, well, what can we do with this information? I will share with you what I did with this information. I know I shared it in a previous video when I did some potatoes before, but I will share it again. I have one of these things. I think I picked it up off Amazon. And the main thing you do with that, you make French fries. And I have one of these things, a mandolin. Yeah, I sliced my finger doing strawberries one year for a cake. And I also have this thing from Food Network, which is a vegetable spiralizer. Guess what? It works for potatoes. So first, let's start with the fries. Okay, maybe I sped this up a little bit too fast. So there, I have all the potatoes soaking in water because I heard it's easier to cut. Plus, this thing is quite a workout. This fries maker, manual fry maker. I cut it so that I have one edge straight. And plus it's easier to fit into the thing. You can see how the holes go. So my fries are a little bit short. They're not long fries, but they're fry shaped. So I would say they're about 2 inches tall. You can see it comes out right. I leave the skin on, but I do wash those russet potatoes. And I bag them up. Some I'm going to eat this week and some I'm going to freeze and eat at a later time. Maybe not next week. Maybe I'll have rice. Maybe I'll have something else. But, you know, I will not let the potatoes go to waste. I won't let them stay in the refrigerator and grow eyes and start sprouting in the refrigerator. So I'm going to prep all the potatoes. And that's what I did. I prepped all the potatoes. I even add a little olive oil, a little salt and pepper, or sometimes I add a little salt and seasoning. Because, you know, it's like when you buy those bags of seasoned fries. If I'm going to pay $5, I mean, I can make my bags. I got seasoning at home. I'm not, like, buying additional seasoning. The only thing I bought was the potatoes. I already had the French fry maker. I already had a mandolin. And I already had the food sterilizer. It's not nothing new. I just pulled out some olive oil out of my cupboard. If I was doing food prep, that wouldn't be included. You know, that would be, you'd be expected to have that as part of your kitchen staple. So I am, you know, bagging up some of them, and then the ones that I'm going to use this week I just put in a plastic container for the refrigerator, and the ones that I will save for a later date, I'll put a little olive oil in them and put them in the freezer. So there I am using it. I, you know, press. So I got quite an arm workout too, but soaking it in the water does make it easier to, yeah, I'm struggling right there to press it out. And I read it somewhere. I'm not exactly, I forgot what the chemistry behind the water is, other than it maybe it removes a little bit of the starch, but it does make it easier to cut. Plus it cleans the potato because I put it in water, rinse it off, use my little brush. And then, you know, I like to leave the skin on. Gives the potato chips a little bit of flavor. It's kind of like when you go to certain restaurants and they have that fresh cut fries taste. You know, it's one of my favorites. So for this, I'm putting a little olive oil and a little salt and pepper. Sometimes I do have that garlic and herb seasoning that I can add to it too. And this also helps with, hopefully it won't get frozen. I would have to let you know if I remember in a later video whether or not it did get frozen. So there I have that garlic and herb thing. That has no salt in it, hence why I also add salt. I'm not trying to overdo the salt. And I'm using my 1/8 teaspoon so that way I'm not over salted. There's one thing I do notice in a lot of prepared food, and I was trying that always to say, I don't feel like cooking, I'm just going to stick something in the microwave, was the amount of salt. So I'm not trying to add too much salt. So there, that's how many fries I prepared. And I still have potatoes left. So I did about 10 containers for French fries. So next I'm going to do scalloped potatoes. So this is where I'm going to use the mandolin. And I'm going to use one of those thin baking pans that I usually use for buns, or I think people use them for breads, but I usually use them for the Jamaican bun. And I will be using the safety on it. I've learned my lesson not to use a mandolin without a safety. Now for tomorrow, I'm going to use, I said, one of those pans. I'm going to add the garlic, some onion, to my scalloped potatoes, and bake the potatoes with a little olive oil. I will not try anything cheesy because I tend not to carry milk in my house. So therefore, my attempts at making milk to thicken for the cheese came out to be a mess. So we're just going to stick to the baked potatoes. They're just going to be cut scallop side, or roasted potatoes, but just cut thin so they're easier to bake. So I'm cleaning up this onion because I'm also going to use the mandolin on the onion. So I'm going to use the mandolin on the onion first, and then I'm going to do some potatoes. And I'm using the safety because, onions do fall apart real easy, and the next thing you know, your finger's touching that blade. For the potatoes, I started off with my hands on the mandolin because it's kind of hard to grip, and then once it's going down, then I use the safety. Not trying to slice off any fingertips. See it there, I use it. Okay, so I did use my hands a little bit, but then I did use the safety. But I do remember that feeling, that ouchy feeling. And then I'm also going to use some of the, I just cut up the whole onion. I'm going to save some of it tomorrow because for my meal prep next week, or in your case, my meal prep the following week, I got some cod and some salmon. I didn't get no chicken because, they weren't on sale this week. So, we go with what's on sale. So I'm going to do some salmon and some cod. I'm going to season it different ways. I have some tangerines or tangelos in my fridge that look like I had them for a while. I'm going to use the juice of that along with a little sesame oil, which I have in the cupboard. Salt and pepper up the salmon and cook that one way. And a little thyme, of course. I like to add thyme to everything. For the cod, I'm probably going to have this fish seasoning from Grace Fish Seasoning, and then I'll take a little flour with salt and pepper and olive oil in the pan and bake it that way. So that way I have enough fish for next week. So there I am doing the potato, and these are going to come out quite nice, and that scallop thing, it makes it easier to, gives it a nice even thing, evenly sliced potatoes, so when you roast it, it roasts evenly. Does that make sense? Well, you know what I'm trying to say. If you try and roast a whole potato, it could take a long time. But you see what I'm doing there? I put the potatoes in with the pan, and then I'm going to drizzle a little olive oil over it. But I'm going to do like 3 potatoes in that. But I'm not going to sit down and eat all 3 potatoes at the same time. That would be 3 different lunch servings. And then for the fries, I probably do the fries like the evening before for when I carry that fish. But I'm going to do all the fish the next day. So that way, I don't have to cook fish the night before. And I can use my air fryer. You can't really see it, but my air fryer is to the left of where I'm working. But yeah, for doing one sitting of fries, it works nicely. So there I am with the scallop potatoes. I'll put a couple more scallop potatoes. I'll make some more scallop potatoes so that way, and freeze them, and I can have them at a later date. You know, put a little olive oil in it too, so that way hopefully it don't get freezer burn. But I won't be able to report that back on you until I try it. But I am trying not to waste the potatoes. Push come to shove, I've heard potatoes are great as thickening agents in sauces. Hopefully it won't come to that, and I'll be able to have these potatoes later on, because after all, I mean, a 10-pound bag of potato or just 28 ounces of, you know, French fries. So there I added the olive oil. I'm going to wrap it up in foil and just, you know, put it in the refrigerator. And then tomorrow I'll do most of the cooking. Today I'm doing all the potato cutting. So I'm just making sure the seasoning goes throughout, you know, because I want my roasted potatoes to be seasoned. Look at garlic too, don't harm. And yeah, add in the garlic right now. I do love garlic. I like the, you know, the flavor it imparts in food. Garlic and thyme. Those are my two favorite things to put on almost anything. A lot of people cook with some other spices, but I'm not too familiar with it. So that's my reason for using garlic and thyme. Those are the two I am familiar with. And I do have that, I forgot what you call this thing, the manual punch. I mean, I know you can crush the garlic with a knife, but I do have that thing you squeeze it through and it dices, or it you know, minces. Yes, that's the right word. Minces the garlic. The only problem is that it gets all up in the thing, you know. And add in my sprigs of thyme. I do believe thyme imparts a lovely flavor. Now I understand this may not be a money saving tip for everyone, because you may not already have a mandolin in your house and a French fry maker or a spiralizer, so it might be cheaper for you to buy the bags of, you know, crinkle cut fries. But for me, I have these gadgets already, so might as well put them to use. So there I am showing you my mandolin with the potatoes. The mandolin, those are all the potatoes I did. And you notice I bagged them, those are going in the refrigerator for another time. Still have potatoes left. So now I'm going to do spiralized potatoes. Now I believe I picked this spiralizer up. It says Food Network. I'm thinking Kohl's because I shop there too. So it's either Amazon, Kohl's, Walmart, where else? eBay. I mean, I shop at different places. I look for deals. So I'm going to do the thick spiral, and I'm putting a plate at the end. And I like this machine because it has those little legs. I've used it mostly for zucchini, but once I found it could be used, you can do the spiral potato. You can still put that in the air fryer too. And I found out, which, you know, I don't know if I should make a video on it, but spiralized potatoes cook faster than the French fried potatoes. In fact, they need less time. I put it in for the same time as the French fried tomato and it came out all burnt. I was like, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no. So yeah, here spiralizing the potatoes. I mean, you can sprinkle a little olive oil, some salt and pepper, or just some salt or some garlic, and it's quite delicious. Now, if you enjoy this content, and that's me doing potatoes, whoops, come on, that's me doing potatoes 3 different ways. French fries, I did with the mandolin scallops, as I like to call it, which I'm just baking. I'm not really doing that cheesy potato stuff, because that hurt my tummy. And then I did the spiralizer where I spiralized the potato, and I can use that at a later date. And I froze it so I can use it later. So 10-pound bag for $5.99. That saves me money because I already had those tools. But hey, you tell me what you think. Alright, I'll see you in the next video. If you like this content, please like, subscribe. Bye.